who are we really? I mean, are some people just good and others purely evil? Terrifyingly evil, even.
Such a huge question, isn't it?
It really is. And today we're diving deep into the strange case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde to sort of grapple with that. We'll be following the story through the eyes of Mr. Gabriel Utterson, Jekyll's friend, who gets increasingly worried.
Right. Utterson's perspective is key. He's our guide through this mystery.
Exactly. And our mission here is to pull out the most important bits, the real nuggets of insight from this classic tale. Basically give you a shortcut to understanding what makes it tick and what it says about, well, us.
Let's get into it.
Okay, so our journey kicks off with Mr. Gabriel Utterson. He's described as, a solid, reliable lawyer, maybe a bit dry, but
Yep,
loyal.
very respectable Victorian gentleman type.
Right, and he has these weekly walks with his relative, Mr. Richard Enfield. It's just part of their routine. Until one Sunday, Enfield points to this weird-looking door.
Mm-hmm. Just a door on a street.
Yeah, but he has this story attached to it, a really disturbing one. He saw this repulsive man, Mr. Edward Hyde, do something just awful.
Just completely unprovoked cruelty.
Exactly. He deliberately, coolly just trampled a little girl who bumped into him, didn't even look back.
Horrifying.
The crowd naturally was furious. They cornered Hyde, demanded he make things right. And Hyde, he's just strangely calm about it all. He offers money.
And goes through that very door to get it.
Right. Comes back out with some gold and a check. But here's the kicker. The check isn't in Hyde's name.
The first real clue.
It's signed by someone very well known, very respectable, and Enfield says, yeah, the check cleared. The man's name, Mr. Edward Hyde.
And this is where Stevenson really hooks us, isn't it? That immediate contrast. You have this act of pure, almost motiveless malice.
Yeah, totally senseless.
And then it's immediately tied through this check to someone presumably upright and reputable. It's like, how can these two worlds connect? It instantly undermines that whole veneer of Victorian respectability.
And Utterson knows exactly who signed that check. He knows the name.
His friend.
His old friend, Dr. Henry Jekyll. So that night, Utterson feels this deep unease, the sense of dread, almost. He goes to his safe and pulls out Jekyll's will.
A will he already didn't like.
He hated it. He drafted it, but the terms always bothered him. It said if Dr. Jekyll died, or, this is the really weird part, disappeared for more than 3 months.
Disappeared.
Everything, his entire fortune, would go to this Mr. Edward Hyde.
That word disappeared is just brilliant foreshadowing, isn't it? It immediately suggests something more complex, maybe more sinister than just death.
Totally. It hints at something unnatural, even this early on.
It plants that seed of doubt. What could possibly make a man like Jekyll just vanish? And why would Hyde benefit from it?
Utterson's deeply troubled. He needs answers. First, he tries Dr. Lanyon, another old friend of Jekyll's, a respected doctor himself.
Right, part of the same circle.
But Lanyon admits they've drifted apart. He says he disapproves of Jekyll's recent work, calls it meddling and unscientific nonsense. But he's never heard of anyone named Hyde.
So, no help there. And that unscientific nonsense bit's telling, too. It hints that Jekyll's already crossed some kind of professional line, even before Hyde enters the picture fully.
Definitely. So Utterson thinks, okay, if I can't get answers about Hyde, I'll find the man himself. He starts watching that door Enfield pointed out, just waiting.
Staking it out, yeah.
And eventually, Hyde shows up. Utterson steps out, introduces himself. I'm a friend of Dr. Jekyll's.
How does Hyde react?
He's rude, snarling almost. Gives Utterson his address in Soho, but he's incredibly hostile and just vanishes inside. Utterson, though, he gets a good look at his face.
And that look is important. Utterson feels this instant wave of revulsion. It's not just that Hyde is ugly, it's something deeper.
Like an aura of evil.
Exactly. A palpable sense of wrongness, of deformity that goes beyond the physical. It's like Hyde is the embodiment of something purely malevolent.
So Utterson still has no real answers. Weeks go by. Then Jekyll throws one of his usual dinner parties, pleasant affairs, good company.
A return to normalcy, seemingly.
Seems like it. But Utterson stays behind after the other guests leave. He finally confronts Jekyll directly about Hyde, about the will.
And Jekyll.
He gets really defensive, tries to brush it off, says, it's an odd situation, but I have it under control. But then he insists really firmly that Hyde will be sticking around.
He insists.
Yes, and that the will, its terms, must be honored. He cuts the conversation short. Utterson leaves feeling, well, heavier than ever.
That insistence is fascinating. Under control sounds less convincing when he's also saying Hyde has to stick around and the will must be honored. It sounds less like control and more like compulsion.
Or entrapment, maybe?
Exactly. Like he's bound to Hyde in some way he can't or maybe even won't explain or break free from, the mystery deepens.
And then it jumps forward. A whole year passes. London is suddenly rocked by this absolutely horrific crime.
The murder of Sir Danvers Carew.
Yes, a prominent MP, well-respected man, beaten to death in the street at night, clubbed with a heavy cane.
Just brutal savage.
There was a witness, a maidservant. She saw the whole thing from her window, and she identified the killer.
Let me guess.
Mr. Hyde. Utterson gets involved because he knew Carew, and the police find part of the murder weapon, a broken cane, and a letter addressed to Utterson on the body.
Oh, wow.
So Utterson identifies the cane as one he gave Jekyll years ago. He leads the police inspector straight to Hyde's address in Soho.
And what do they find?
The place has been ransacked, papers burned in the fireplace, clothes strewn everywhere. Looks like Hyde made a very hasty exit.
This is a major escalation, isn't it? From that seemingly random cruelty with the girl.
Yeah, the trampling.
To this calculated, vicious murder of a public figure. Hyde isn't just unsettling anymore, he's lethally dangerous. His evil seems to be growing, becoming more unrestrained.
Utterson is horrified. He goes straight to Jekyll's house. He finds the doctor in his lab looking terribly ill. A changed man, the text says. Pale, sick.
Understandably, perhaps.
Jekyll swears, absolutely swears he's finished with Hyde. Done. Cut all ties forever. He even gives Utterson a letter, supposedly from Hyde, saying he's safe and won't trouble Jekyll again.
A convenient letter.
Very convenient. Later that evening, Utterson shows this letter to his head clerk, Mr. Guest, who happens to be a handwriting expert. Just casually asks his opinion. Guest compares Hyde's letter to an invitation Utterson received from Jekyll earlier that day. His conclusion: the handwriting is virtually identical, just slanted differently.
Whoa, so Jekyll forged the letter.
It certainly looks that way. Utterson is left wondering, why on earth would Henry Jekyll forge for a murderer?
The plot thickens considerably.
Right. So Hyde disappears off the map after the murder. And for a while, things seem better. Jekyll comes out of his shell again.
Like a weight has been lifted.
Exactly. He's social, charitable, reconnects with Utterson and Lanyon. It's like the old Jekyll is back. But it doesn't last. Just a couple of months later, boom, he slams the door shut again, goes back into total seclusion. Deeper than before, even.
That back and forth is so telling, isn't it? It suggests the problem isn't just Hyde being out there. Even with Hyde gone, Jekyll can't find peace. The battle is clearly internal.
Utterson is really worried now. He goes to see Lanyon again, hoping for some insight, but he finds Lanyon drastically changed too.
Oh, so?
Physically ill, so frail and bald, looks like he's aged years. He seems terrified. Lanyon tells Utterson he's had a terrible shock, something he'll never recover from.
A shock related to Jekyll.
He says his friendship with Jekyll is officially over, permanently, but he absolutely refuses to say why, just clams up.
Lanyon's state is another huge warning sign. This respected man of science, completely broken by something. It implies whatever he experienced wasn't just upsetting, it fundamentally shattered his understanding of the world.
It's deeply unsettling. Utterson writes to Jekyll, basically pleading for an explanation. What's happened with Lanyon? Why the seclusion?
And Jekyll's response.
It's cryptic and, frankly, quite chilling. He confirms, yeah, the friendship with Lanyon is done. And he says his own isolation, his seclusion, it's a self-inflicted punishment that must never end.
Punishment for what? He doesn't say.
No, just that he has to bear it alone. And then, the tragic news. Dr. Lanyon dies just a couple of weeks later.
Wow. That shock really did kill him.
Seems like it. After the funeral, Utterson remembers Lanyon had given him a letter before he died. He opens it. Inside, there's another sealed envelope.
More secrets.
Yeah, with instructions. Do not open unless Dr. Jekyll has died or disappeared. That word again. Disappeared. Utterson respects Lanyon's wish and locks the letter away. But you can imagine his turmoil.
The suspense is unbearable at this point. What did Lanyon know?
We don't know yet. Then one last chilling encounter. Utterson and Enfield are on one of their walks, passing Jekyll's house again. They happen to look up at the laboratory window.
Jekyll's there.
He is, sitting there looking incredibly sad, mournful. They call up to him. He speaks briefly, says he feels very low, hopes it won't last. He even manages a faint smile.
A moment of connection.
For a second.
Well,
but then suddenly his expression changes. The smile vanishes, replaced by this look of absolute terror and despair. He just slams the window shut and disappears from view.
gone. Just like that.
Utterson and Enfield are just left standing there, completely stunned and chilled to the bone.
What could possibly cause such a reaction?
Well, things come to a head very soon after that. One evening, Poole, Jekyll's butler, shows up at Utterson's house. He looks awful. Pale, shaking.
Poole, the loyal butler.
Yes! He's terrified. He says Jekyll has locked himself in his laboratory, the room above the main lab, his private office, for a whole week. Poole hasn't seen him, just heard him pacing, weeping sometimes. He fears the worst. He suspects foul play.
Foul play against Jekyll, or by Jekyll.
He thinks someone has harmed Jekyll, maybe replaced him. Utterson agrees to go back with him immediately. When they get to Jekyll's house, the atmosphere is thick with fear. All the servants are huddled together in the main hall like frightened sheep.
The whole household feels it.
Poole leads Utterson through the garden to the laboratory building, then up the stairs to the locked office door. Poole calls out, announces Utterson. A voice answers from inside. Pained, strained, refuses to see anyone, says he can't be disturbed.
Is it Jekyll's voice?
Utterson listens closely. Later, back in the main house, he tells Poole definitively, that voice was not Dr. Jekyll.
Chilling. So Poole's fear seems justified. An imposter.
Poole is convinced. He tells Utterson about the strange things happening all week. This person in the office keeps crying out for medicine, some specific drug, sending Poole out with desperate notes to chemists all over London.
Trying to get a specific chemical.
Yes, but whatever they send back, the voice rejects it. Says it's not pure. Poole also says he caught a glimpse of this person once.
What?
He snuck into the main laboratory area below the office. He saw this figure, wearing a mask, frantically searching through some crates. When the figure saw Poole, it let out this cry, like an animal, and bolted back up into the office.
Wearing a mask.
Yes, and Poole swears the figure was small, hunched, hideous. Definitely not the tall, well-built Dr. Jekyll.
It sounds like Hyde.
That's what Utterson must be thinking. The fear in that house must have been overwhelming. Everyone knows something is deeply, terribly wrong, but they don't know what.
The tension is incredible. They have to do something.
They decide they have to break down the door. They post servants at the other exits. Utterson calls out one last time, Jekyll, I demand to see you! The voice inside pleads to be left alone. Utterson gives the order.
The axe.
Poole takes the axe and smashes the door down. 5 blows, and it crashes open. Inside. Silence. Then they see him.
Jekyll.
No.
Run.
Lying on the floor, twitching, is the body of Edward Hyde.
Hyde.
Dressed in clothes far too large for him, Dr. Jekyll's clothes. In his hand, a crushed vial. The smell of cyanide in the air. Suicide.
So Hyde killed himself. But where is Jekyll?
Exactly. No sign of Jekyll's body anywhere. Just Hyde. On Jekyll's business table, there's evidence of chemical experiments and a large envelope addressed to Utterson.
The final answers.
Inside is a new will, leaving everything to Utterson now, not Hyde, and another sealed document, plus a short note from Jekyll himself. It says, basically, if you're reading this, I have indeed disappeared. He instructs Utterson to go home, read Dr. Lanyon's letter first, and then read his own enclosed confession.
Lanyon's letter first, okay.
Utterson tells Poole he'll handle things, promises to return by midnight to involve the police, and heads home with the letters. He needs to understand.
Finally, the explanations.
First, he opens Dr. Lanyon's narrative, and it explains everything about Lanyon's decline and death.
What did happen?
Lanyon recounts receiving an urgent, almost frantic letter from Jekyll one night. Jekyll begged him, as his oldest friend, to do something extraordinary.
Which was?
Break into Jekyll's private office. Poole and a locksmith would help find a specific drawer containing chemicals and a notebook, take it all back to Lanyon's own house, and wait. At midnight, a man would arrive on Jekyll's behalf to collect it.
Bizarre instructions. Lanyon must have thought Jekyll was mad.
He did. He writes he was sure Jekyll was insane, but felt compelled by the desperation in the letter to follow through. He got the drawer, took it home.
And at midnight.
Right on time, a man knocked. Lanyon describes him as small, strangely dressed, and giving off an aura of intense, almost unbearable agitation and, well, repulsiveness, but also desperation.
Hyde.
It had to be Hyde. The man ignores Lanyon's questions, just demands the drawer. He grabs a graduated glass, mixes some of the red liquid with the white powder from the drawer. It fizzes, changes color.
The potion.
He asks Lanyon, will you watch or must I go? Lanyon, despite his unease, stays. The man drinks the mixture down in one gulp. The transformation. Lanyon describes it in horrifying detail. The man cries out, staggers, clutches at his throat, gasps. His body seems to swell, his features melt and rearrange. Lanyon is so horrified he has to shield his eyes.
Unbelievable.
When he looks again, the metamorphosis is complete. Standing before him, pale and shaken, is not the small, hideous messenger, but his old friend, Dr. Henry Jekyll.
Wow. Lanyon saw it happen. No wonder it destroyed him.
He writes that his life was shaken to its roots. Seeing that, knowing it was possible, it undid him. He knew he would never recover.
That's the aha moment, isn't it? The scientific proof, witnessed by the ultimate rationalist, Lanyon. It's the irrefutable evidence that shatters everything he believed in. That's why it broke him. It wasn't just frightening. It was intellectually, fundamentally impossible, according to his worldview.
Absolutely. A truth too terrible to bear.
Right.
So, with Lanyon's account confirming the impossible, Utterson finally turns to the last document, Dr. Jekyll's own full statement and confession.
The full story for the man himself.
Yes. Jekyll starts by explaining his lifelong dilemma. He was born into a good family, had position, wealth, enjoyed doing good works. But he says he always harbored a secret dark side, a profound sense of duality.
The good Dr. Jekyll and the hidden something else.
Right. He felt burdened by this duality and became obsessed with the idea of separating these two natures. He believed if he could house the evil part in a separate identity, the good part could be free and unburdened.
A dangerous idea.
He pursued this through his scientific work, his transcendental medicine. Eventually, he discovered a combination of drugs, certain salts, that could achieve this physical transformation.
Creating the potion Lanyon saw.
Exactly. He describes the agony of the first transformation, but then the feeling of release, of lightness, as he became Edward Hyde for the first time. He says Hyde was smaller, younger, because his evil side was less developed than his good side. But crucially, Hyde was pure evil.
The only human being ever to be pure evil, as he puts it.
Right. And Jekyll, looking at Hyde in the mirror, felt no repulsion, only a kind of paternal interest. This was him, his darker half, finally given form.
So he had to provide for this other self.
Yes. He rented the house in Soho, arranged clothes for Hyde, even told his servants they had to obey this Mr. Hyde if he ever showed up covering his bases in case the change became permanent somehow. And of course, the will. That was Hyde's safety net.
Transferring his wealth if Jekyll disappeared.
With all this set up, Jekyll initially enjoyed it. He describes the newfound freedom, the thrill of indulging Hyde's base, cruel impulses without any consequence to Dr. Jekyll's reputation. He could be wicked, then drink the potion and be the respected doctor again.
Living two lives. But it couldn't last?
No. The horrifying moment came when he woke up one morning as Edward Hyde, without having taken the potion the night before.
It happened spontaneously.
Yes. Hyde was getting stronger, fighting for dominance. Jekyll realized he was losing control. He tried desperately to choose the good side, lived virtuously for months, that period, Utterson observed.
The brief return to normalcy.
But the temptation, the craving for Hyde's freedom, was too strong. He gave in, took the potion again, and Hyde, having been suppressed for so long, came out roaring.
And that night.
That was the night Hyde murdered Sir Danvers Carew, an act of pure pent-up rage and evil. Hyde then panicked, destroying his papers, fled back to the lab, and took the potion to become Jekyll again, just before Utterson arrived.
A narrow escape.
But the problem was escalating. Sometime later, Jekyll was sitting on a bench in Regent's Park, contemplating his situation, when suddenly the transformation happened again, spontaneously, in public.
Oh my God. Stranded as Hyde, a wanted murderer.
Exactly. He couldn't go back to his own house. Desperate, he wrote those letters to Lanyon, mimicking Jekyll's hand, which Hyde could do, arranging to get the crucial drugs delivered to Lanyon's house for the transformation Lanyon witnessed.
Which terrified Lanyon, but also Jekyll himself.
Yes, seeing the horror on Lanyon's face really shook Jekyll. He vowed, again, never to become Hyde, but it was too late. The very next day, the involuntary transformation started happening frequently.
He couldn't stop it.
He could only hold Hyde back with constant doses of the potion taken while awake. If he slept or the effects wore off, Hyde emerged. It became a constant, desperate battle just to remain himself.
So what does this all really tell us? Jekyll's confession is devastating. It's not just about good versus evil, is it? It's about the illusion of control.
Yeah, he thought he could neatly separate the two.
Right. He wanted to indulge the secret dark side without consequence, but found that side wasn't just a part of him. It threatened to become him entirely. You can't just surgically remove the bad bits. And that detail about the unknown impurity in the original soul,
Crucial, Rip.
it's so important. It implies his success was an accident, something inherently unstable and unrepeatable. His scientific hubris led him to unleash something he fundamentally didn't understand and absolutely couldn't control. It was flawed from the start.
And that flaw led to his doom. His supply of the original impure salt ran out. He tried sourcing new batches, but they didn't work. London chemists couldn't replicate that unknown accidental element.
He was trapped.
He realized he couldn't make any more effective potion. Hyde would eventually take over permanently. So, using the very last dregs of the original mixture, he transformed one last time to write this confession for Utterson, knowing that when the potion wore off, Henry Jekyll would cease to exist forever.
And Edward Hyde, presumably, would face the consequences or end his own life, which he did.
The true death of Dr. Henry Jekyll, as he calls it, wasn't the suicide. It was the final, irreversible transformation into Hyde.
What a story.
What a chilling journey we've taken, really. Following Utterson's unease, his investigation, Lanyon's terror, and finally Jekyll's own tragic account. This deep dive has really peeled back the layers on that terrifying duality.
And it circles right back to where we started, doesn't it? That question of good and evil within us. Jekyll's story is such a powerful, dark warning about trying to deny or surgically remove the parts of ourselves we don't like.
Because maybe they're not removable.
Maybe they're integral. And maybe the real struggle isn't separation, but integration, or at least managing that internal conflict. Jekyll's failure wasn't having a dark side. It was his catastrophic attempt to split himself in two. It suggests the monster isn't always out there. Sometimes it's terrifyingly close to home.
It's a tough reality. Maybe, in a strange way, we should be grateful Dr. Jekyll conducted his terrible experiment. Grateful he drank that potion because it revealed something profound, however disturbing.
A difficult truth about human nature.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? About ourselves. Will you ever be ready to confront the true, complex reality of who you are?